Going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back with another predicted lineup video. Second game of the season. We're going up to Manchester for the massive game against Manchester City.
Simple.
We did it last year in the Champions League quarter-final. A week later, we went up there. We lost 1-0, but
a few
days later. We lost 1-0, but I thought we gave a good account of ourselves. But yeah, let's run through the team news.
Yeah, well, the team news is pretty much same as last game. Dele Alli's still out. He's saying a couple more weeks to heal that hamstring injury.
He's saying he's going to return to training in September.
Yeah. Heung-min Son and Foyth are still suspended.
Yeah.
And Ryan Sessegnon is still out for about another month. They're saying 3 weeks.
And obviously Foyth is actually injured as well. So
he's
doubly out.
And there was the birth of the Foyth at right back spot, the Man City game at the Etihad last season in the 1-0 league defeat. In terms of what we think the lineup would be, I think it's interesting to know that Pochettino said in the press conference before the game that he will not take contract situations into account when selecting the team. He said he's just going to select it based on who's most fit and available and who he thinks should play, regardless of what the contract situation is.
For me, that says Eriksen's playing, surely.
You have to think so. But there was a lot of talk, obviously, when Vertonghen was left out of the lineup last week. Everyone was saying, it's because of his contract, he's clearly unsettled. But Pochettino said it's because he came back unfit, and he was apparently sending a message to the squad that you have to be fit, and even the best players in the squad, if you're not fit, you're not going to be playing. And that's the message he was sending to Vertonghen and the squad.
Sounds a bit strange, that one. Like, it's a bit out of character with Vertonghen to come back unfit, isn't it? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I believe what Pochettino is saying. Personally, I think it is to do with the contract issue. But yeah, we've seen
from all the noise we've heard, it apparently is to do with fitness.
Look, I don't know. You can't really believe everything you hear, what you read. Even if Pochettino says it, you can't really believe everything. But look,
I've seen it before with Toby, that the contract situation when he was a bit unsettled, and then he dropped him for Sanchez for a large part of that season.
Yeah, we've seen it with Kyle Walker when he wanted to leave. Are we going to see it with Eriksen now? Obviously, he wasn't.
He came on,
he came on for Villa, but he wasn't starting.
Yeah.
But look, it remains to be seen. I personally think Vertonghen's going to play this weekend, even though I'm saying.
I got a feeling. I believe it was to do with fitness, because it is a bit of our character for Vertonghen to come back not very fit. But if it is true, and then I think it is a good message for Pochettino to send that message to the squad, saying even it doesn't matter who you are, if you're not fit, you're not going to be playing. And I've got a feeling if he wasn't fit last week, then it's only been another week. Will he play? Will he play again, or is he going to start Sanchez again?
Look, I just worry for Sanchez against City. He got bullied a bit against Villa, so what's going to happen against City? I think Sanchez. I think Sanchez is a brilliant player, and to be fair, I think he plays better in the big games than he does in the small games. So we'll see. But anyway, let's run through our predicted lineup. What formation are you thinking?
Well, obviously we started with that diamond last week and it didn't quite work. However, is it a case of whether we're going to try it again against a different opposition? It might come out differently, or are we going to switch to how we played in the second half, bit of a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, and go more a bit more attacking? I'm a bit torn. I've got a feeling he still might go for that diamond, just because City plays so much through the centre, through De Bruyne and David Silva and Rodri, that we cannot afford to see control and centre to them. So I've got a feeling he might go with the diamond again and see how it goes.
Well, if we play a 4-3-3 with Winks and Ndombele and Sissoko, doesn't that help us in the middle?
Yeah, but then you're not playing either Eriksen or who you playing up front, or are you playing Eriksen up front? Well, in the 3 on the wing.
Yeah, so up front, if it was
Lucas,
a 4-3-3, it would be Lucas, Eriksen, Kane.
What, Eriksen on the right or the left?
Yeah, Eriksen on the right. Eriksen on the left, Lucas on the right, and Kane up top.
Yeah, but he doesn't usually play Eriksen there, does he? So I'm not sure he would do that. That's why I think he might go the diamond again, because if you remember, it's the diamond, that the formation that we played against City in the Champions League, and it gave him a lot of trouble. Mm-hmm. And with Lucas and Kane and Son up front at that time, it was the pace up front really caused them trouble, and they struggled to deal with it. So I've got a feeling we might go with that again.
It's a bit different though when you're comparing Lucas to Son, because Son is so much more direct and he suits that formation perfectly. But I think Lucas, he likes the ball to feet a bit more, and he needs. Yeah, Lucas doesn't really run. Yeah, he does, but Lucas doesn't really run in behind like Sonny did, and that's the thing that caused them the most problems.
That's also true. I just got a feeling we are going to go that diamond again.
All right, assuming we are going to go with that formation, obviously it's going to be Hugo in goal.
Yeah.
You're going for Sanchez and Toby.
I reckon it'll be Sanchez and Toby again. Just a hunch. Just because if it is true the rumours that Vertonghen wasn't fit, I can't see a week making too much of a difference. However, I'll be happy to be proved wrong with Jan getting back in the lineup. But I got a feeling it'll be Toby and Sanchez again.
Obviously, I'd love it to be Jan and Toby, but yeah, you're probably right. It will be Sanchez. So let's go for a back two of Sanchez and Toby. Right back, Kyle Walker-Peters.
Yeah, he's already said that, Kyle Walker-Peters is clearly a player he's going to be trusting a lot this season. He said that in the press conference, so it's kind of pointing towards the fact that he will start this weekend. So yeah, I think he played well last game. So
he did play. He played very well.
And it's about, I know last time he started a big game was the Barcelona in the Champions League, and he made a mistake, and it wasn't his best game, but he recovered from that mistake. And look, this is the second time he's got a big chance, and what a massive game this is for him. If he has a good game away at Man City, that's really going to stake his claim to be our number one right back this season.
I just fear for him a bit because
Raheem Sterling, and
because we've said it before. Trippier always played well in like the smaller games, the Watfords, the newly promoted sides, and look, Kyle Walker-Peters played really well, but it remains to be seen against the top side. He's never had that opportunity, so maybe it's a good opportunity for him to stake his claim. But
and hopefully, he's got pace, doesn't he? So hopefully he can keep up with Sterling and not get caught out. I think defensively he's just going to be got to be on point. That's the main thing for him. Going forward, I let our forward players take care of that. I think defensively the most important thing for him is the players like Sterling and Bernardo Silva and whoever else they can play out from Mahrez. You just got to not be caught out by them.
What I'm trying to say is that we've seen Trippier put in 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 performances against these kind of sides, and then he comes up against a City or a better team, and then he kind of falls flat on his arse. But let's hope that doesn't happen to Kyle Walker-Peters.
I don't know why. They're different players. We'll see.
Yeah, they are different players. But are we moving on to left back, Danny Rose?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Like Davis is still getting back from injury. Sessegnon's injured, and Rose he's been the best left back, so he's got to start.
Yeah, bottom of the diamond, I'm going for Winksy again.
Yeah, Winks. I think he's going to be so crucial in this kind of game with retaining possession, because you know how City like to harry you and harass you on the pitch, and it brings us on to our other two players who I think will be in the diamond. Yeah,
will be Sissoko and Ndombele.
I think Ndombele is the big one in this game. Obviously, we saw how good he could be. This is pretty much the reason we signed him, was how his performances in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And we saw against City last season how he dominated that central midfield. It's a bit of a different beast, seeing as it's Rodri instead of Fernandinho. Not that it's any less quality, but I think Ndombele, if he can get a foothold in this game, we could really see a real positive direction from this team, because
both of them are pretty key, because if Sissoko and Ndombele can boss it, then we've got a real chance.
Yeah, and in terms of physicality, you're thinking City are going to play one of Rodri and then probably De Bruyne and David Silva, and if we can dominate physically with Sissoko and Ndombele, that's going to go a long way into who's going to come out on top in this game. And I think they're massive. It really is massive in that central midfield. We cannot let them play. We can't let them get bullied. And when we have possession, it's so important. Ndombele shows the quality we know he has, a dribbling ability to get into the final third and then give it to players like hopefully Eriksen, Kane and Lucas, who we're hoping will be starting.
All right, and on top of the diamond, Eriksen.
Yeah.
Obviously, need I say more about Christian Eriksen? We saw his quality when he came on against Aston Villa. We were losing at the time. He come on, he creates chance after chance, and we won the game 3-1. He's scored at the Etihad a number of times now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Winners as well, important goals. So I think it's really imperative that Christian Eriksen plays this weekend.
And hopefully with Eriksen now, as opposed to last season, he has a bit more support in midfield. Like last season, it was kind of him, Winks and Sissoko in the diamond, with like Ali at the top, or maybe Ali in the diamond and him at the top. Yeah. And he doesn't get enough defensive solidity, but hopefully with Sissoko and Ndombele there, you have that extra muscle required for him to maybe float a bit further forward, find those little spaces, and not be so reliant on him tracking back, even though we know he does track back.
Yeah, maybe it'll give him the license to shoot a bit more as well, because maybe he'll have a bit more
freedom. Yeah,
freedom. Exactly.
I hope so. The one thing Pochettino did say is he was asked whether he thinks Eriksen will be at Spurs by the end of the window, and he said, "I don't know." He didn't say yes, didn't say no. It was kind of a, So who knows what's going to happen with him. But I think he'll start. I think his comments before the game kind of hinted he might start.
But all right, and up front we're going to go with Harry Kane, and Lucas Moura kind of picks itself. Harry Kane is Harry Kane, and Lucas Moura is standing in for Son from last season. Like I said before, I think Son is more suited to this formation, like running in behind. I think Lucas is more effective out wide, to be honest. But look, it is what it is.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, it's just my opinion. I think Lucas is more effective when you play it to his feet and
That's
running
true.
at the defence.
That's true, but I don't think he's shown out wide for Spurs that he's a very good winger.
Well, I think when you look at games like last season, when we played Liverpool, I thought he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he
that
played up
game.
front.
No, he was out wide. He was drifting.
Yeah,
actually. He drifts from up front to out wide.
The thing is, when he's on the wing, you don't really see him whipping balls in, taking on the fullback. He kind of loves to drift inside and trying to find goal. That's always his goal. He has become more of a goal scorer at Spurs. He doesn't really assist that much. That's the worry with him. And whenever he gets in wide positions, he doesn't usually have good quality balls in the box. He usually likes to whip them in low or a pass or something like that.
Well, the thing is with Lucas, a major thing about Lucas is that his end product hasn't been that good. I know he scored the hat-trick in Amsterdam and he scored important goals for us this season, but apart from those actual goals, he hasn't provided much of last season. Everyone goes on about him, how great he was last season, but I don't think he was that good. He was good in moments, I thought.
Yeah, look, I think, but the thing with Lucas, why I think he's so good is because he's not actually an automatic first choice player. And he's a squad player. And what do you expect from a squad player is to contribute when they're called upon. And the guy got 15 goals last season. And for a player who's in and out of the team, I think it's a fantastic return.
It is a fantastic return.
You can't knock
He
that.
just needs to get more consistent in his play, I feel.
Yeah, and listen, if he got more consistent, he would be a star every week. That's the truth of the matter, because he's that good. But his inconsistency leaves him to being on the bench a lot of the time. But I honestly think, as a squad player, you couldn't ask much more from Lucas.
But don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Lucas. He's an absolute club legend for what he did in Amsterdam. But I think the question marks are still out there about Lucas Moura.
Yeah, I think as a start, I agree with you. But I think as a squad player, I don't think you can ask for much more from him. I really don't.
All right, fair enough. So that's our starting lineup. We are going for Hugo Lloris in goal, Toby and Sanchez centre-backs, Kyle Walker-Peters right-back, Danny Rose left-back with a diamond four of Winks at the bottom, Ndombele, Sissoko, Ericsson at the top, and Kane and Lucas up front. And if that's the team, what's your scoreline, Sim?
I think if we can win the midfield battle and hopefully Kyle Walker-Peters and Rose aren't getting too isolated at the fullbacks, because playing that diamond formation could kind of hurt them. Hopefully, if we can, compensate for that, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw.
But obviously, City start the season with 5-0 win. They're Man City, so anything can happen. Let's just hope, please, not another early goal to City. We keep conceding early to them every single bloody time, and it pisses me off.
Every bloody big game we concede.
Yeah, but especially to see it grow true. Every big game is Liverpool as well. We concede early every time, but please just keep it tight for fucking 20 minutes at least. Anyway,
I'm going for a hopeful 1-1. I tell you what, I'll take a draw right now.
Yeah,
if you offered me a draw,
up.
I'll take it right now. I think if City played to their maximum potential, I think we'll get walked all over.
Yeah, because given our defence at the moment, it's not the strongest, is it? So
yeah, so I'm going for a hopeful 1-1. But we're going to have to work very, very, very hard for that.
And a quick note that it looks like Giovanni Lo Celso will be on the bench for this game. He's definitely not going to start, Pochettino said, but hopefully we'll get to see a bit of him, come the 70th, 80th minute, wherever the scoreline's going to be. So looking forward to that as well.
All right, so there you have it. That's our predicted lineup. That's our predicted scorelines. Like, subscribe, and comment below what you think the lineup and the scoreline is going to be. And as always, come on, you Spurs.